Mr. Lonnie Moger. Do you know, I'm so delighted to be here tonight, and in addition to entertaining you, I hope that you also leave inspired by some stories that I'd like to share with you tonight about a time when I was living in Northern Ireland, and real examples of people that I feel were building sustainable community in a place that was anything but sustainable. You know, I've been described, as Peter said, as an edutainer. And I guess what that means is not only do I love to sing, but I've also been involved in the training and development field for close to 30 years now. So I guess you could say that's the human factor of the building sustainable community model. And I don't know about any of you, but I've been really fascinated as to what it is that makes people effective at what they do. Have any of you ever been curious about that? You know, what is it that makes an exceptional guitar player like this, or an exceptional leader? You know, how do they do that? And for me, I think one of the main ingredients is summed up in this quote by Mahatma Gandhi that says, "We must be the change we wish to see." And what he means, I feel, is that in order for us to influence change in our world, we must influence change within ourselves first. And these people I'm going to share their stories with you tonight. To me, they were examples of being the change that they wish to see. Now, how many of you are familiar with Northern Ireland? Do you remember reading about it a bit in the newspapers? Yeah, for about 30 years, from about the 1960s till the mid-1990s, there was well over 4,000 people were killed in Northern Ireland, and yet very few people were ever charged for those deaths. There was close to 10 times that amount were actually injured during those troubles. Psychologically, Northern Ireland was compared to London during the Blitz. Bombs were regular occurrences, there was military presence. A simple thing, like for me to go into a store, I would have to have my purse opened and searched. There would be body searches. There was big high walls between what were the two predominant communities there, the Catholics and the Protestants. And these walls were designed to keep both sides of the community away from each other. So some people lived in the same city and never met somebody from the other religion. So hardly what you would call a sustainable community. I was there doing a lot of training and development for government as well as private organizations, trying to bring the two communities together. I also spent quite a bit of time in the south of Ireland. And you may not realize this, but they are actually separate countries. Even though they're on that same little island, they have different political systems, different money, etc. And it was while I was there, I was particularly fascinated by the Celtic traditions. Are any of you, have you ever heard of the Celtic people yet? And I particularly liked the notion of their festivals and their calendar, and how they would celebrate life and nature with these festivals. And it seems to me that the Celtic people had a great understanding of nature and how it was a reflection of our own natures. So what I'm going to do with you tonight is I'm going to share these stories of these people that I met in Northern Ireland. At the same time, I'm going to interweave it with music as well as I'm going to interweave it with the Celtic festivals, because I think there's qualities and attributes that can be found in these festivals that are in these people, and I believe in every one of us. And so these qualities can be applied to be the change that you wish to see in your community, if you so desire. So let's start first of all with the Celtic festival of Ilmach. And Ilmach begins on the 1st of February, actually, and it is the springtime. And it's the time of the child. It's the time when mind connects to spirit. And I allow myself to be like a child again, full of that sense of wonder and possibility. Now, I don't know about some of you, but that seemed a lot easier when I was a kid. Somewhere along the line, I tended to get very serious. Do any of you find that? Sometimes you take things a little too seriously. And Ilmach reminds us to suspend the practicalities. Not that they aren't important, but to suspend them for a time and just allow ourselves to be childlike and allow ourselves to use our imagination. Now, I know any of you who are staying for the conference will hear the talk that Peter Comer is giving on Thursday about Imagineering. And this was one of the qualities that Walt Disney had, was this ability to use his imagination and dream. Just watch the smoke rings rise in the air. You'll find